welcome to another Running On Air video. In this one I'm going to be looking at how we can transfer patches to and from a PC using MIDI-OX. This is actually a video I did on my Fixing Synth channel some time ago, but reviewing that the other day I could see that there were some issues with the sound quality, and hopefully I can make some improvements in that regard. The other thing I wanted to do was to look at the 7 hidden functions, which are utilities which can help fix problems as well as reset the software. Some useful stuff there, all practical, not very musical in this particular case, so I'll get stuck into it. So if you're not using Windows, this may not be fully relevant, but there could be a few things that will help you out, particularly on the ESQ side of things. So let's talk about the hardware. Now you can see I've got one of these here. The reason for this is these are very commonly available on eBay and they don't cost very much money, but they're not going to help you doing this because they do not transport system exclusive. So you need really some kind of brand name MIDI USB interface. So don't use one of those, okay? It's not going to work. Get rid of that. Next thing is actually the settings on the ESQ itself. By default, it will not be able to send any patch information. So what you need to do is you go into MIDI, and then it's on this enable. If you press the up button, you'll see that it changes to SS and SX, which is system exclusive. Yeah, so now you're ready to go. But there is one thing to bear in mind. When you turn the keyboard off, it will go back to the original setting. So every time you want to transfer patches, you're going to have to come back and make sure that that is enabled, or it won't work. I had no problems installing this on Windows 10, although it is a very old piece of software. It seems to work fine. I won't go through how to do that. It should be relatively straightforward. I didn't notice any issues. Okay, so if I start MIDI-OX up, then the first thing you need to do is to actually find your MIDI interface. Yeah, so we go to Options, MIDI Device. All the MIDI interfaces that you've got will be listed on the left-hand side. So you just need to pick the one you want. So the next thing is we need to get MIDI-OX ready to receive the data. So if we go up to View, SysX, we get this new box. Once you've got the SysX view, then there's one more thing to do. So you just go to the SysX button here. It's Receive Manual Dump. Right, so now it's waiting. I'm going to send the wave bell. So go to Storage, MIDI, Send, Current Program, and you can see that it's received 210 bytes. So if I click Done, you can see the actual data. And in this view, you can actually go in and edit stuff, but it's quite tricky to do it. I have tried, and it's, I mean, it's like machine code, so it's not easy to know exactly where you are. Anyway, so at this point then, of course, you want to save the data. So you go and, this is an interesting one. So the save is not under File like you would normally expect, but under Display Window. Anyway, Save As, and you can see I've got quite a few other patches in there. Save. Okay, so I've got that in now. I can now close this window, and that's that done. So if I quit out of the MIDI mode, I'm just on the patches. Now, how do you get them back? So this is actually slightly easier, to be honest. You go to MIDI-OX, and then it's SysX view as before, and then send SysX file. Then you open it, and it literally sends the information straight away. So at this point it puts ESQ straight into write mode to save the patch. So it's worth thinking about where you're going to put the patches before you actually upload them, because there's no spare space for anything. when I write, all I have to do is then choose which bank I want to put it in. So let's see if there's anything. Yeah, so if I go to bank 3, there's piano 2. And there we go, it's saved. So there's the original wave bell. And here's the new wave bell. And piano 2 is gone. So I'm going to go through the hidden functions of the ESQ-1. Some of them are very useful, some of them you'll probably never need. It's worth saying that bookty.net is probably a really good resource if you have anything ESQ-1 or ESQ-80 related that you want to look into. There's loads of stuff there. That's where I got the list of the hidden functions. First one is record and compare. So this function is to check the various control parameters. It doesn't give a running readout, and I'll show you what I mean. So the knob is basically this, but as you can see, it's not changing. I'm changing, but this isn't, and I have to get it to read to see if anything has changed. The modulation is currently at 0, and if I put it up the top, it's 255. In the middle, I get something in the middle. Okay, so we've got the full reset. So this is record and soft button 1. So erase all memory and reinitialize. Yes, okay. All my patches gone. Reset to factory, and which is fine because I've backed them up. So for me, I'm more likely to use this if I just want to get the factory sounds back, because they're there. I just need to get them back. It's a quick and easy way to get them back, so it's a good option. But I guess if you've got some strange things going on, it could be a good way to perhaps reset things and maybe fix a potential problem. There's also a reload option, which is slightly less drastic. So if we go record and 6, it literally just reloads the software, and that's the same as turning it off and turning it back on again. So record and master. Yeah, so this one just shows you which software you've got loaded, which you should be fairly clear on anyway. When you turn the thing on, it displays it every time. This one is perhaps a bit more interesting. If you need to change some of the filter chips, like for instance if you're doing a renovation or something's gone wrong with one of them, then this will retune the filters. Record and filter. Now mine are a little bit all over the place, but to be honest I've not really noticed any problems with it, so I'm quite happy to leave it as it is. But ideally you'd expect the values to be perhaps a little closer than are on mine, but I'm not that bothered by it. It sounds fine, so I'm happy with it. Record and modes. Don't know what this one does. Oh, that's cool. I like that. So basically just shows the people that worked on the synth, which is a great little thing to have there. Record and split layer. Yeah, so the record split layer function is to recalibrate the keyboard, but it's not showing me anything, so I have no indication whether that's actually doing anything. Plus I don't really have any keyboard issues at the moment, so I'm not sure what's going on that one. Anyway, that's the 7 functions. We're all done. I think I've covered everything you need to know in relation to transferring the patches and the functions. If you think there's anything I've missed out, then please let me know, and if you have any issues at all, then I'll try and clarify it in the comments, and I'll see if I can suggest anything that might help you. So if you found that helpful, I'd appreciate you leaving a like and consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing more of this sort of thing as time goes on, and hopefully catch you on the next video. But for now, bye.